are taking Charlie.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to this cast game played on Black Forest Duel between Mix90 playing at what the heck? I'm getting Discord messages. Oh, the Netherlands game's on. Oh, mate, it's not going very well. Oh, dear.
He knows the flight of the ball, all he's got to do is get something on it. Goalkeeper.
Turkey, European country, by the way. Anyway, this again. Hello and welcome to this cast game played on Black Forest Duel between Mix90 playing the US 82nd Airborne and he's up against Pro Commihut playing the 101st Airborne. So it's an American Airborne Civil War. These two players have a bit of a history on this map. The grand finals of the Live, Lav, Love tournament were played between these two players, and they had the same sides that they have now on this map, except Mix90 was playing as 4th, and Pro Commie was playing as an American division. I can't remember which one. It was an American division. So we'll cast the deployments, and then we'll cast the game. I'm probably not doing this properly. So, starting off with Mix90's deployment, he is on what I consider to be the good side because you can just YOLO straight into Bravo, and that's exactly what he's doing. So, on the far left, we've got some guys going into Charlie, so he's got Airborne, 2 Airborne Dragons, one's going into Charlie, one's actually going to Alpha, and an Avengers, and he's got the LAV there, so he's definitely going for Charlie. He's also going for Bravo, so he's got an Airborne Engineers, 50 men now for satchel charges. But if you compare these two, I don't know if he's brought them. We'll see. But basically, these are just a better version of the ones that 101st gets. There's been a lot of conversations about whether or not... is that a good place for me to be? Whether or not 101st is just bad 82nd or whatever. But I think they're just different divisions. Despite the fact that 101st is called an airborne division is in this game meaningless. Because they don't have that much airborne stuff. So, in fact, they have very, very little airborne forward deployable units. So an airborne engineers go into here. Airborne. 2 Airborne Dragons going to here and here, and an Airborne Tow 2. Advantage of this road is that you can shoot all the way down, or look all the way down. Very useful road. And an Avenger Paras. These got nerfed, like, relatively recently. It wasn't in the latest patch, I think it was the patch before. They used to have a 1-second aim time, now it's more like 2 seconds. And another Avenger Paras, Airborne Scouts, and Humvee CV. So only one CV. He's going to cap Echo and then presumably go Foxtrot. But there's no CV on this side. And another LAV just going around on the right here. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got Pro Commihut here. He is playing 101st, the new div. And he's got a sniper team going to here. Behind that, 2 cards of Aero Scouts. Guys are quite expensive for what they are. 10 men. It's basically like an expensive Jäger squad, basically. So one's going to here and one's going to here. The difference is these guys have shock. And an Aero Scouts GSR, so you don't see these very often. Well, at least I don't bring them because I think 100 points is excessive. But it is a 13-man squad. It's just the weapons it's got aren't very good. A sniper rifle's basically an MG. And it's got 4 laws. But it does have ground surveillance radar, but it's literally... So it's got exceptional optics when it stood still, basically. But it's 100 points. Behind that, we got 1 little bird going to Bravo. Green Beret, so these are the first 4 weapon unit in the game. 14 points. 14 men, 100 points. You only get 3 at 2 vet and 2 at 3 vet. So I bring them at 3 vet. But they are Special Forces Shock, and they've got an AT4. But the point is, so this sniper rifle is basically an MG. So it's just a squad with 3 MGs. So that's not really... It's one of those things where flavor-wise it seems really cool, but in actuality it's not. He's got an MP Patrol, Aero rifles in cars, not in... I'm surprised he's bringing those, actually. Going forwards. Aero rifles, dragon. So these are like bad airborne dragon 2. So it's 9 men, 75 points. Whereas the airborne dragon are 10 men, 80 points forward deployment. So interesting, right? So I think the airborne dragon punch above their weight, or these guys are too expensive. I don't know. And then he's got a Stinger, and he's brought it in the 50 cal Jeep, which is classed as well, it's not really a Jeep. It's more of a joke, as you can see. And that's classed as an AA unit because it can shoot at helicopters, but so can every other 50 cal in the game with the same range. So I'm not sure what is meant by that. So yeah, Stinger's there, and then Chaparrals, 2 Chaparrals going to Bravo, and a Meep Abrams. So this is the advantage 101st gets. It gets worse infantry than 82nd. It gets but yeah, it gets better artillery, and it gets tanks, whereas 82nd doesn't get tanks. But 82nd does get better air, and it also gets more helicopters. So those are the differences. And then it just depends on the meta, right? Of course, 82nd also gets way more forward deployment. As you can see, these are not airborne forward deployed. This is, and is Delta Forces, which he hasn't brought. And then 1 Aero Fire Team 84. So he's just completely given up on Charlie. He's not bothering with that, and he's going hard on Bravo. So we'll cast the game, and I'll do it from this perspective. Right, so they're off, and I'd like to take the time to thank the generous channel joiners. They get the names on the screen. They get the videos on average about a week early. They get access to exclusive members-only videos. And yeah, at the higher levels, you get your games cast. So if you beat a pro player and you want me to show it off, you got to pay up. But yeah, both of these players are tournament finalists. I won't tell you how that one ended. You'll have to go watch it. First link in the description. So it's interesting to see this rematch. I think Mix is on a bit of a stronger div than he was last time. Last time he was on 4th. I can't remember which American div Pro Commie was on. I think it was 8th US Infantry. So I actually think he's on a weaker div than he was last time. But he's opened 1 CV, his opponent's opened 1 CV. And yeah, we'll see if Pro Commie can use his advantage in... so his squads are bigger, but they're less numerous. So we'll see if he can use his advantage in artillery to swing the day. So first tick, purchase LGBT, and yeah, the little bird doesn't really do a whole lot with its 14 missiles, and it's been forced to land so the Avengers don't kill it. LGBT's probably going to kill this extremely expensive 100-point squad, but you see it survives because it's so tanky. But we'll see if he actually survives, or if he just dies a couple seconds later. So that's the advantage of your 13-man squad. Sometimes they survive bombs hitting their heads. Not always. Sometimes they die. Usually they die anyway, to be honest. So it's up to you whether or not it's worth it. Because this is an extremely expensive squad. So 50 cal there just sort of charges in and dies to the LAV. And that's something else that Commie's got to be concerned about. The LAVs all over the place. So he's already bought the RTP. He's driving it quite close. We'll see how that goes for him. And who knows who's going to win here. I mean, you'd expect Red to win here because he's just got so many more men. So he's bought the Eagle for the LGBT. LGBT's dropped, and it did manage to get its bombs off. So you see that it kills 1, but because this is a mega squad, and it actually kills the F-15. So I don't know if that was the Avenger that got it, or if the Avenger helped, but it kind of looked like the LGBT killed the F-15, which you wouldn't really expect. But he did fly over this Avenger, so I'm wondering if the Avenger got a shot off there. Sadly, no rewind function on these replays. So this guy... The problem with low cohesion is that it makes you really slow. So if you survive, you tend to die anyway. This guy managed to get out, but the other one didn't. And the little birds, not particularly useful for their price because they get one-shot by everything. So the Meep's on the field, and I wonder if... So if Commie can see this, he should just smack it with the tank, I think, is probably the best way. But yeah, these Dragon 2s, he's got to be very careful, because he can't see that. And the main problem isn't the fact that it's taking off 1 HP. It's the fact that it's lowering his cohesion. But because he's vetted up, you know, his cohesion's back to high. And this guy's doing a lot of missing. But the LGBT's out again. And it's going to get another unit. And the Chaparrals this time don't get the kill. So, yeah. So the LAV goes down. And there was one here, which is now dead. And this guy's lost an AT. So I guess he got it. Let's have a look. Yep, that's an LAV. So a bit silly of Mix to just drive it down there, when instead you could just drive it through this forest and then get it to there to shoot all reinforcements. But yeah, Mix does have a lead, because he's got Charlie and Foxtrot. So once this gets up there, it'll be +2 instead of +1. But Mix is pretty thin on the ground, because he bought 2 planes instead of buying actual things. So Pro Commie's brought his arty right up to the front line. And he's intent on trying to hit the Airborne Dragons, but they're moving, so I think his first target was a better one. And the map opening up a bit here does help 101st a bit, because of the, you know, they can use the Abrams. The Meep Abrams is basically the advantage of 101st. Without that, it's really quite a weak division. So you get 2 cards of them, plus the CV card, so it reminds me a lot of Second UK's challenges. So you get, you want to bring them at 1 vet, and you get the command. So in essence, you get 5 challenges. I can't remember if this is still. I think this might be 2 per card. I can't remember if the challenge is still 2 per card. But yeah, the changes to like the suppression values, I think, are too high on these infantry AT teams. So he's brought this out because he thinks, oh, he's probably going to try and snipe my Abrams. But he is sort of inviting Stingers to hit him. So I do wonder if this is going to go in on the... Right, he needs to do something about this, like, right now, because he's just going to get shot by the toe. And, okay, so he's reversing. This thing's still aiming. Pro Commie on a -2. And yeah, it just goes to show, you know, it's very difficult to attack into Airborne. I think 82nd is still very strong. It's just people have just sort of forgotten about it. Sort of, just. But he's playing fast and loose with this thing, because as soon as an 84 shows up, he's going to have a bad time. So he has to evac that now. Or at least he should evac that now. And these Airborne engineers are going to beat these aero rifles, I think, because... Oh no, I think he's out of satchel range. So there you go, Humvee tow, and this is a tow 2, so it really does hurt. As you can see, this is an up-armoured Abrams, and it's still taking lots of damage. It's sort of like a better challenger, basically, in this game. Of course, real life, not the same as this game. Despite what people will have you believe. So, this Humvee's in a really good spot, because he can just shoot across the whole side of the thing. This guy needs to unload, perhaps. Okay. And Commie did manage to resupply his Green Berets. So, he's winning that fight. And Mix has to rely on his air power to do any indirect damage, because he doesn't get 155mm artillery. He does, however, get 105s, which in pairs are still pretty good. So Commie using this quite effectively, and there you go, Mix has brought the 105s in pairs. I have not watched this. Because otherwise what would the point be? So Commie trying to push him out, but I really do think that Blue's side is a bit better, simply because Red should get Charlie, depending on... I mean, if he's got forward deployment and you don't, then yeah, he's getting Charlie. But Red should get Charlie, Blue should get Foxtrot, but Blue can push into Bravo way more, because Blue basically starts here, and so it's very difficult for Red, because this is supposed to be Red zone, this is supposed to be Blue zone, so it's very difficult for Red to get in here. It's not very difficult for Blue to get in here, as long as they maintain this position, and they can do what you saw before that Mix was doing, where, you know, you put a tower here, or a few tanks if you've got them, and you just shoot anything coming down that road. Or in this building, that's very, very effective, because that literally shoots down the whole reinforcement road. So it's very difficult for Red. So yeah, he's attacking here, but I do wonder how long until the bombers show up and just start blowing them up. So the idea with 101st is that you bring a lot of helicopters. But against Stingers, it's, you know, helicopters kind of suck, basically, in this game. So you got to be careful. As you can see that, like, this apparently can't see that. Oh, well, I don't know. He probably can. He's just not reacting. So this will kill this. Because it's got very high accuracy. 65%. And there you go. So he survived one the first shot missed. The second one, you know. The second one hit. The third one hit. Which is what you'd expect from a you know, a 2/3 accuracy unit, right? So, yeah, the artillery is fairly effective against these Humvee tows, but typically you need 2 of them, because he tends to move after the first shot, but obviously there he didn't. I do wonder if this guy's just going to fly back in, and he has bought a second arty piece, so, yeah. All this time, though, Mix is on a +2, and this is... he's playing very dangerously with this, but the LGBT is out, and I don't know if he knows about it. This will probably go for the CV. I don't know. I've got no idea. The CV is now moved. So really cool attack from Pro Commie, using the helicopters to soak. Right, what's this going for? What's it dropped on? It dropped on the CV tank, so I was right. And the Phantom kills it, which is actually huge, because that means that... Because Mix only gets 2 of these, and they're both dead. The first one died over here, an Eagle was sacrificed to kill it. And the second one died over here, a Phantom was sacrificed to kill it. Those are really good trades for Commie, because the LGBT is 80 seconds main way of dishing out damage outside from its ground-based units. You know, like, indirectly, like indirect fire as opposed to direct fire. So the 105s are going to open on this thing. We'll see what happens. They're pretty close, but I don't... there is recon here, so it will be a corrected shot. So that will be interesting. And over here, Commie's actually managed to make it in here. Which is pretty powerful. We'll see what happens to this artillery piece. That DAP's probably just going to die. And yeah, it's very difficult to use helicopters effectively in this game. 101st is supposed to be the helicopter division, even though technically 82nd can bring more. So it's difficult. If both of these guys are fighting, they should beat both of these guys, but I think it's going to be a 1v3 and then a 1v3, and he's not in the building, whereas his opponent is. So that's very bad. This is on the ground. Oh, wow. So the autocannon there, dealing the damage, killed the Stinger unit. And this thing survives the counter battery, so they're going to fire again. There's been no reaction from Commie about that. I don't think he's noticed. He's probably looking at this. So he's landed again, but this will now shoot with its 50 cal, right? Oh no, it's going on that. And this thing fires so fast, these guys aren't landing. Yeah. Big shame, because that is literally like 165 points gone. Because the Chinook is 65 and the unit is 100. So there's big losses, and Commie loses one of his arty pieces. I'm pretty sure he only gets 2. He's brought the... he's brought that, which I'm quite surprised by. It's a seed plane that doesn't shoot. So yeah, I guess against Stingers it makes sense, because you can't shoot Stingers anyway. So he's flown over the Apache there. He's going for the A-10, which evacs. The Apache is going to try and land. So if he had this in the church, it would be able to blow that up. Or this, with the law. A bit closer like, but I don't think he sees it. So the Mixed 90s Eagles are better than Commie's Eagles, because these Eagles have AMRAAMs and these Eagles have Sparrows. Sparrows, they're just not as good. But, you get some. The AMRAAMs are fire and forget, which means you fire them much faster than you fire the Sparrows. Pro Commie still advancing. But yeah, all this time Mix is +2, and this is the disadvantage of playing into Airborne. Pro Commie trying something. Oh no, I see. He's trying to get over there, but the default reinforcement path takes him this way, so he's probably going to lose that unit. Which is a shame, because that's 75 points down the drain there. For nothing. For free. So down it goes. Over here, the 105 still going hard. Commie needs to try and counter battery them, because he sold the transport, so he can't even move them, even if he wanted to. And Mix using his Apaches defensively. Using his helicopters defensively. That's how helicopters tend to work in this game. And that's one of the things that makes 82nd so scary. because you take ground and then you stick a bunch of dragons on it, a bunch of Toad 2s on it, and helicopters. This Aero Rifles Dragon versus the Airborne Dragon. Like we said, the Airborne Dragon is significantly better for only 5 points. Although, now that the game has gone past the 0th minute, the forward deployed capability of the Airborne Dragon is no longer a concern. So, the A-10 rocket is going for the Chinook, which is interesting. Alright, there we go, he's going on the leader. And he does significant damage, but it's such a big squad that it actually survives. It actually survives. It's such a big squad there. So he needs to move this now, because it's quite clear that his opponent knows where it is. And Kami needs to move his chaparrals up a bit. He's only moved 1 up instead of 2. Sends out the EW aircraft. And he's playing fast and loose with this Meep Abrams. He's just trying to... Well, I'm not sure what he's trying to do. But you see that even though this thing has 60% ECM, and units in its radius lose additional accuracy, sometimes you just get really unlucky. So he does take a hit there. So typically you want to pair this up with something that can kill the ground units, but 101st just doesn't get... Like, all it gets is some bombers. But hey, the Eagle does its job there. This has been well and truly spotted. I'm surprised Kami doesn't come over and kill it. I guess he's worried about the Apache killing his guys there. So, yeah, I mean, Mix now still on a +1. The Eagle's still here. He's going for the Apache. It's not going to work, and the Avengers is going to shoot at it. The Avengers misses, so he's going in on the other Eagle. Wow, that was pretty lucky. I didn't get a chance to show you this stat card, but it's definitely worse than the... And down it goes. So there you go. All the Eagles for Kami are down, because he only gets 2. And I don't know if Mix bought 2 cards of fighters or not. He probably did, actually. Because we've seen 2 Eagles go down for Mix as well. So sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't get lucky. These supplies are going to melt to that LAV. And it will see these Green Berets before the Green Berets can shoot back. Mix has just temporarily moved his CV out. But you've noticed that all that work was just to stop the tick. Right? Mix is still winning. Kami's still losing. He still needs to get 1,000 points. All that work. So it's tough. I mean, the other thing you can do is take this one. But he's only got 23 minutes left. I really do like how aggressive he's being with this command tank. He needs a recon with it. I mean, he's sort of got it. But I don't think he'll be able to see that LAV. And there you go. Mix is back on a +1. Because he still doesn't have the zone. And this guy's now going to get shot by an Apache. LAV goes down to the Meep. And the 105s are still shooting. He's got good value out of those. Kami's just not tried to counter battery them at all. It can oftentimes be pointless, but you saw that one volley didn't actually kill this one, but he didn't move it. He still had the transport with it, but he didn't move it. So that's a shame. Because if he'd moved it, it would have been fine, because they survived the volley. So these guys actually survive, and will probably get healed up soon. And one of the 105s gets blown up by the tank. These do not have their direct fire, which they should have. Same with the British ones, they should have direct fire. And here you go, Aero Stingers. So these are like regular Stingers, except they get 1 rank of vet for free while not being forward deployed. So he's bought 3 of them, and the 105s are hitting them now. Well, they're missing them. And all Mix has to do is just keep flooding infantry into here, so I'm surprised he's buying things that aren't infantry. But I can understand having the toes around the side to deal with this guy. The Abrams is one of the best anti-infantry tanks in the game because it's got 3 machine guns, unlike the Challenger, which has 1 machine gun. And another LAV dies there to this guy. This guy's now killed 2 LAVs. So, what's going on? Kami's got to gain some ground, but he will, like, his infantry isn't as good as 82nd's infantry. He's got some big squads, but just into, like, his satchels are more expensive than 82nd's for no reason, and like, it literally just seems like an oversight. And you know, he's got some big squads, but he doesn't have very plentiful squads. They're all very expensive, whereas the 82nd ones are pretty cost efficient, pretty effective. They've all got shock. They're all 10 strength. They're a little bit pricier than they used to be. So it's like Kami's got to find other ways to kill these infantry, so that's what the artillery's for. But he's lost one of his arty pieces, and that's like, he doesn't get autocannons, so it's tough. Green Beret's leader attacking the Airborne. It's pretty cool. Ah, man. And then you see these auto evacs are just taking him past the enemy, and he's losing guys there. And yeah, 101st doesn't get good strike aircraft. This is probably going to kill that. I don't know if you can see it. That Avengers is coming around. It's going to get targeting, and once you get hit once, you start spinning around like a moron, and then you die. But it misses 2 in a row, and then it gets routed, so that's pretty interesting. Phantom goes down to Eagle. Chaparral goes down to Dragon, perhaps. Surprised Mix hasn't put a toe in this building. Or a recon, or just anything, because it can see further. Religious people can see further than atheists, and this is a church, so you can see a lot further than the atheistic dwelling next door. And you see that all his auto evacs are taking him past this. And this guy's got supply purchase for him, so he's never going to run out. He spotted the RT, he's shooting at it. It should be alright if he... It looks like he cancelled that order. So he's just going to sit there and eat rounds and probably die now. Alright. And yeah, the Green Beret's leader going ham. Airborne engineers, 50 points, 10 men, satchels. And I do not see the 101st ones. So he's brought this guy back a bit, and there goes another helicopter. So it looks like Mix did have 2 cards of fighters, so he loses an Eagle there. So that's not a great trade for Mix. But helicopters are 2 per... Those Cobras are 2 per card. Apaches are 1 per card, but Eagles are 2 per card. So it's a bit silly. I think helicopters should have higher availability if they're going to make them as weak as they are. Electronic warfare back out. I'm not sure what it's for, to tell you the truth. Just to soak stinger shots, like... But sooner or later, you're just going to get hit twice and die, despite having 60% ECM. So I don't really see the point. So, sure, he knows it's here. So what's he going to do? Shoot artillery at it? He's not pinged the location, so I'm pretty sure he's probably already forgotten. And Mix, yeah, just resupply. More airborne, more resupply, more airborne dragons. And all this time, Kami's killing them, but he can't kill them fast enough, right? I think Kami's taking superior trades here, but he literally just can't kill them fast enough. So he needs to get around here and cut the reinforcements, but he can't do that because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Humvee tows all there, and you can't see them because they've got good stealth. So you need to send the infantry right up to them to see them, and then you can use the tanks. MP Patrol goes down there. That's a shame because those guys help reduce... and you see that 180 for low cohesion. It's just silly. It's just silly. But yeah, Kami's not vetted these meeps, so they're going to be low cohesion for a very long time. Same with these. So yeah, he's brought more helicopters because that's how he deals with... That's his division's way of dealing with massed infantry, because he doesn't get autocannons. He doesn't get cheap tanks. And you see that they just don't really... Like, all of that didn't kill one squad. And then if he gets close enough, the Stinger's going to shoot him. I'm very surprised the Stinger's not going in the church. Yeah. So he's got to get closer, and then there you go. Dies in 1 hit, because it's only got 4 HP. This only has 8, so it'll die in 2 hits. It's mainly useful for its autocannon. So this is like a flying IFV, basically. Meat goes down to toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes now. 5 Humvee toes in a big arc around here. And these Green Beret leaders aren't going to make it. They're too low cohesion. Whoa, okay, so he got that at least, but then, yeah, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. So he's got to get to, like, here, I guess, but then you've got the problem that Airborne are going to come to the corner and kill you. But yeah, I'm not sure what to say. I think he should have, like, so while he was assault. Yeah, he should have ran the Green Beret leaders in, but you know he doesn't really have that much infantry there. He should have maintained his front line and some supply, and all the tanks back here to kill anybody that comes in these buildings. But look, he's right here, and he cannot see those. It's really silly. It's really, really silly. Although I think that's more of an LOS issue thing. So, you know, get a recon here, one of your GSRs. You need GSR. This thing is not an AAP, that you're about to find out. And then while you're holding this, take this. So he has sort of figured... He's sort of come to the same conclusion, right? So while you're pinning this, take this. It's very slow, right? But you've got the artillery. You can take your time with it while you're holding this. But, yeah. And then once you've taken that, then you can come and take this. Because you're just not going to win the infantry grind against 82nd. It's just better. So there you go, Aero Scouts in front so that the Meep can see. But the Meep can't hit him, and now it's going to die. So it's just silly that you got to be that close to see, right? Because like this guy probably can't see those unless they're shooting. So yeah, he is now trying to kill these, but Mix has done a good job having them in a sort of conical shape like that. But there you go. So now he's going to take this. But now he's lost this, right? So he will get up to +2 if he fully takes this zone. That he misses, which is not really up to him. 70% accuracy, you'd expect it to hit. So it's pretty unlucky. Hits the second time. So now he needs to take that zone. But it kind of looks like he wants to get side shot by Dragon 2s instead. So that's what's going to happen. So now he needs a CV. He actually brought 2 cards of 155, so he's still got 155s. He really needs to do some counter battering here. Mix has sold his transports. Like, he's not using them. Apparently this is jammed. Oh, it's now very dead. Oh, that's because of that quick fix. So Commie's trying to get to this zone, which, I don't know, because this Eagle is going to kill all that. And he doesn't have any ASFs, so he's just sort of dying. But you see that this is another very expensive investment. So yeah, he's spinning. Ah, I'm spinning. But it is cool from Commie, like what he's doing is cool. I just think that his 82nd is built with the current meta in mind. Basically, 82nd benefits a lot from the current meta of getting there first and then just sitting there, because vision in this game is so terrible that attacking is very weak. So you get there first, get some points on the board, and then just sit there. Whereas the 101st does not get there first. And it sort of lends itself to these using helicopters, which the meta does not favour. But there you go, you see the 60% ECM coming into its own there. Not sure what the seed is for. I guess he just needed a plane. He's got no recon hit. Oh, he's got the Aero Scouts, never mind. Gets that lav. 101st gets Chaparrals and Pivads, but Pivads have been nerfed, so... Oh, he's actually brought it, you see? And now he's bought 3 artillery pieces. That's probably going to really ruin that Airborne's day. Especially because of the heavy ones. And this should kill that. He just needs to face it. He needs to face it. Just run right into it. And just shoot the 50 cal at it. And he needs a CV, which he's not got. And this thing's going to see his CVs, but Mix doesn't have any attack aircraft left. I mean, I guess helicopters are aircraft, but you get my point. This is probably going to die now to the guns. No, she's still flying around in circles. Yeah. So, Commie's got to reinforce this. Although he managed to kill all those airborne just with the artillery. Is it going to die to the... It dies to the guns. And there you go, this 50 cal's now shooting that. This guy could probably just unload and kill it. Or this guy. I'm pretty sure the Pivads can shoot that because it's got less than 1 armor. But it's not really doing anything, so I can understand why not. Thing is, he's bought... Oh, okay. That's not good, actually, because this is... Oh, it's only got 8 rounds. Never mind. But this can kill that, because it's only got 4 HP. So he's got to be really careful here, because this can kill that easily. It can stop it from landing, it can kill it. But it looks like this 50 cal is going to beat that 50 cal, because this 50 cal is shooting that Stinger, instead of this, the thing that can kill it. So a little bit of miss micro there. And, yeah, great turnaround from Commie, but I think, I mean, I think he's got to get every single point on the map to win. I really do. And he's getting a lot of airborne. He's doing work. He's doing a lot of work here. But yeah, next he's going to send this here, and I think this is just going to blow it up. Needs to move those arrow rifles as well. Yeah. And that Apache is pretty scary. Is it just on the ground? Yeah, but it can still... Well, okay. The Heavy Hog's gonna have the first go, I think. So he's trying to get that AA up. Like that Stinger, but he unloaded that. So, it's now even. And... Yeah, Commie's he's gotta get in here, but... How? So what's going on there? Is it just... Yeah, it's just not very good. And I think he's run out of ASFs. Otherwise we'd be seeing him. Maybe one might be on repair or something, but... So yeah, 82nd also gets helicopters, and it gets a better air tab, and it gets better infantry. The only advantage 101st has is the Meep Abrams. Which... Oh, and the artillery. So he's used the artillery to decent effect. I mean, he needs to keep doing it. He needs to do some counter battery. Like, these don't have the transports with them. But I think I don't think 101st is weak. Not in the slightest. I think 82nd's still too strong. And I think the main reason why it's too strong is, one, the Dragon 2 Mega Squad is just perpetually OP. You know, just the ability to shoot as far as it shoots, and the fact that it's 18 pen means that it one-shots any 4 front armor vehicles, so BMP2s, Warrior, Applique, all of that. And the fact that you can't see anything means that it just takes longer, right? So if this match had gone on, I mean, we've still got 10 minutes left, and Commie's now got the initiative. But if he had 10 more minutes, I think it would look a lot better for him. But he doesn't. He's only got 10 minutes to make up 1,600 points. So I don't know if that's possible. I think he would need every point. I think he'd need to come back in over here. And that's not easy. So that is obviously going to die now, and it doesn't manage to land. So I don't agree with CV helicopters, basically for that reason. They just get sniped too easily. I know Fortitude Fence likes them a lot, and clearly Commie likes them too. But yeah, Commie's forgotten about his artillery. He really needs to just put one on counter battery and just deal with this. And the other thing he could do is, instead of sending all these guys over here, although he probably does need them, is do something similar over here. But there is the Avenger Para, so he needs an Abrams here, because like, he doesn't know if there's a TOW 2 here. Yeah, you need a proper combined arms force just to move these 3 units. You need like 3-to-1 force ratio, right? Just like, and then people say, oh, it's realistic. There's nothing fun about real war. If you don't believe me, go fight a real war. Let me know how it goes for you. I'm sure you'll have loads of fun taking 80% of your casualties to artillery. But yeah, Commie running out of ASFs is, I think, really not doing him any favours here. He needs to land this one. Although this Eagle's having some turning circle issues. But yeah, we'll see how much damage this Avenger can do. And he needs to send this in there, and he is now. So yeah, if he landed that one, because it seems like they can survive one pass, because the Chinooks got 10 HP. Oh, it used to be more. It used to be 12, didn't it? I could have sworn it used to be 12. So they've been nerfed a bit. It's a shame. Yeah. Don't think we've seen any bombers from Commie, just those fighters, and for some reason the EW aircraft. So he might get this, and that will put him on a +4. +4 with 7 minutes? I don't know. I think he needs this as well. But he is in a position to get it. Like, Mix has sort of run out of stuff, except Airborne, which he'll never run out of. And Airborne are very, very good. So he's still in a good position, especially given the forest here. Like, these Abrams can't engage at range. They'll engage basically when these guys can shoot back. So, Meep going in on the Airborne Dragon. Seed just strafing. Why not? Does some additional damage. These things are just trash because of the aim time. As you can see, like 2-second aim time means that they just can't shoot. Like, it basically flew over before he shot. Mix has done a great job of keeping this Airborne here. I'm surprised he didn't move it up to here just to kill all the reinforcements that keep coming in. Maybe he's saving it for later. And you see that they just don't shoot. It's just the aim time's too high. So that Abrams is pushing without AA. And this guy might even get in there. Although, yeah, here we go. So these big-ass squads do beat the smaller squads. He's forgotten about his artillery. The game's been going on too long. Like, he should really... This should be arted, this should be arted, because they're stood still firing. This should be arted. I mean, this is probably going to die now. What happened there? What happened there? Oh, he must have moved it forwards. He must have moved it forwards. So yeah, he is trying to get in there, but the Avenger Para's there, and for some reason it's got 16 Stingers on it. The F-16 Seed is far superior to the Raven EW aircraft because it has guns and can also shoot the enemy AA with its Seed missiles. So Raven cannot. So he's going in, despite the fact that he knows about that Avenger. He's just going to try and 1v1 it, but it's not going to work because... I mean, it's going to work, just like I said. Maybe he'll get this in. So that's cool, actually. Imagine if he'd done that 5 minutes ago. Over here, the mess continues. Meep's just driving in and eating AT4s. AT4s. Pretty sure it does, like, 2 damage or something. It does 1 damage on the front armor. It's not like Mix is going to run out of stuff. And Mix is using his artillery, which is crucial. And Kami isn't. Which is a shame. So Kami's on a +5 now. He's probably going to lose that Apache. Yeah, he's just totally not got any air dominance at all. But he's got that zone, which is sort of what he came here for. And I do wonder if he's got another one of those. Because he could just try and chuck it in here. And that would work as well, because there's no Stingers there. And when he flew over the EW aircraft, he may have noticed that he didn't get shot at from Stingers over there. So I think he needs more. I think he needs more. But yeah, could you imagine if you could see a little better in this game, so that like this unit could be spotted and blown up by this artillery? Could you imagine how much more difficult it would be for 82nd Airborne? So you know, dream big. The Meeps are sort of relatively holding their own. So the advantage of... Oh, but the CV... Oh, no, it's fine. It's just moved. The advantage of the Meep over something like the Challenger... The advantage of anything over something like the Challenger is that it's fast. So it could get out of there quite quickly. But yeah, Kami's really got to use his artillery. Look at that as a target. Oh, here we go. So he is using his artillery. And he brought his Apache. The Avengers is still there. The Avenger is still there. And it's trying to get to a location where it can shoot. And it will shoot. And he's focusing the Avenger. So yeah, that's the disadvantage of the Avenger over Stinger teams. Also, it was sort of dumb of him to drive into the open. If he kept it in the forest and got it to here, it probably wouldn't have been able to see it. Because he doesn't have any recon LOS on that. So yeah, as you can see, you can't see into the forest. The Apache is not going to win that fight. Especially if an Eagle comes and kills it. And... yeah, so Mix is just going to smoke the very corner of the zone and run in here. Although his leader is routed. But that allows Kami to land his helos right in front. Over here, the snipers managed to get in. Where's Kami? Oh, there you go. So he's still got that. But where's the Green Berets leader in the Chinook? So he should get to avail on that. This guy's unrouted himself. This is probably going to go down now. So how's Kami's Arty doing? He's firing at good positions. He might be able to kill this. He might be able to kill this. He's in the circle. This guy needs to move slightly so he's in the forest. This guy needs to move so he can shoot. He's getting the building perhaps. But if he's just going to sit in the smoke. So this is why you got to target the artillery. So he can't do that. And this is, yeah, like a... So there's actually 2 CVs though. I'm not sure how much of a difference it's going to make. So this guy is actually going the wrong way. Oh, because there wasn't a C... So the CV in here must have died to artillery. So there you go. You got to deal with the artillery. The Seed doesn't see this yet. But with 1 minute left... He's gone from a +6 to a +2. Just off that. Like, if he kept the CV, it still would have been a +4. And a lot of CVs are dying here. But yeah, he didn't get a CV in here, which is a shame. And he could, like, fly this over here and try and find the enemy CV so he can blow it up with his artillery. And the guns have stopped. This has landed because of that seed, but I don't know if it's ever going to get in, because these Avengers are going to have their say when it tries to get over here. I'm not particularly confident about that. Once it gets, if he gets to here, well, I don't know. I don't know. And, they're opening up. Oh no, they're shooting their 50 cals. Okay. So he does land, and he will get that +6 back. It's interesting. I wonder what would have happened if that CV hadn't died. I wonder what would have happened, because now, he's only got 40 seconds left. There's no way he can get 600 points. But yeah, he gets the CV here, so could you imagine if he'd... Oh, he loaded this guy back up, he's going for it. He's only got 20 seconds. I don't know if he's... I mean, he's not... It's probably not going to get there in time now, because he's not noticed, but it probably wouldn't make the difference. And, yeah, so you got to silence the smoke, basically. And these chonky squads are pretty good. They're very expensive, like, and they do invite enemy bombers. Dragon minimum range there. And there you go, that's game. So a really interesting game. Props to Pro Kami, playing the new div. When I click on mix, it just comes up with me. Mix is not me. As you can see, you got more kills. It's just... it's very difficult to push Airborne out. I think he should have dealt with the artillery a bit better. But when he lost his ASFs, that was like a huge problem. He did well to take out the enemy LGBTs, so he sacrificed 2 of his 4 ASFs to take out the LGBTs, but then he lost the other 2. I didn't really see how. I think they died to Eagles. Oh yeah, 1 Eagle died to a Stinger, and 1 Phantom died to something else. A Stinger. So, well, I don't know, that might have been the other one. So yeah, really cool game. Really cool game. Please do let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.